Your name, sir?
My name is Ray McGovern.
And Ray, what's going on today? What's this rally about today?
Well, this rally here is about people who know war, who have suffered from war, and specifically mothers and family who have suffered from war. You know, I've learned a lot in my 50 years here in Washington, but one is that mothers suffer in a way that cannot really be duplicated by anyone else. There's a Russian poet, Nekrasov is his name, 19th century. He wrote a poem about this, and I'd like to recite it for you. It's called "Внимая ужасам войны," okay? Paying attention to the evils of war, the horrors of war. Внимая ужасам войны, при каждой новой жертве боя, мне жаль не друга, не жены, не жаль не самого героя. Увы, утешится жена, и друга лучший друг забудет. А где-то есть душа одна, надо гроба помнить будет. При лицемерных наших сил и всякой пошлости и прозы, одни я в мире подсмотрел, святые, искренние слезы, то слезы бедных матерей. Им не забыть своих детей, погибших на кровавой ниве, как не поднять плохую шаиве своих поникнувших детей. This is about the horrors of war, and what the poet is saying that at the death or injury of each new victim of war, he feels sorry, not so much for the spouse of the victim, not so much for the victim's best friend, not even so much for the victim himself or herself. Увы, he says, утешится жена. The wife will be consoled. И друга лучший друг забудет, and best friends forget their best friends. А где-то есть душа одна, but somewhere there is one soul who remembers to the grave. Amid all the frivolity of everyday life, there is only one thing, says the poet, that I've recognized as really true. Those are слезы бедных матерей, the tears of poor mothers. Им не забыть своих детей. They don't forget their children. Погибших на кровавой ниве, who have perished on the bloody battlefield. Как не поднять плохую шаиве. So they cannot wipe their tears away. Just as как не поднять плохую шаиве своих поникнувших ветвей, just as a weeping willow tree can never lift its branches. Well, that's how it is. And what you have here today, military families against the war as well as us veterans. I see mothers, I see wives. A mother just spoke whose son is due to deploy to Afghanistan for his fifth tour into that battle-scarred area. What for? Well, there's a lot of oil there, there's a lot of natural gas there. It's a strategic country where we need, in our view, permanent military bases, because otherwise China and India and Pakistan and Iran would have predominant influence. It's the classic example of our thinking that we can make the Pakistanis, for example, think as we do. Don't they realize they don't have to be a friend of it? They don't have to be afraid of India. Don't be afraid of India. Be afraid just of terrorists. Well, they're not afraid of terrorists. They're supporting terrorists. They're arming them and they're leading them against our own troops in Afghanistan. The Taliban is a creature, first of the CIA and now of the ISI, the inter-services security setup there in Pakistan. So the whole thing is so ridiculous, and as I said just a minute ago, we have to recognize that our troops are being chewed up not only in an unnecessary way, but in an unconscionable way. Some people have said, even John McCain said in the campaign last time around, we want to make sure that we get oil and gas from other sources so our boys don't have to perish on the battlefield in Central Asia. Well, what does that mean? That's an admission of what this is all about. And so what we need to do is not only end these feckless wars, but take the money. And that's what most people don't recognize because of the captured media here. Do you know that 58 cents, okay, 58 cents of every dollar you pay in taxes goes to these wars? Did you know that? No. Why? Because what I call the fawning corporate media doesn't want you to know that. Why don't they want you to know that? Because they're profiteering from the wars, okay? They're making tons of dough. And that's why we end up with 1% of the people in our country controlling more than 40% of its wealth. So we are the 99%. We're going to make our point here and in other cities across this nation. This is a popular uprising, and we're going to try to get the word out so not even the fawning corporate media can avoid the truth. And the truth is, we're here and we're not going home.
Now, Ray, the name of that poem again.
It's called Vнимание ужасам войны. The title in English would be Paying Attention to the Horrors of War.
And the author of the poem?
Nekrasov. He was called the poet of Russian pain. He was active in the last half of the 19th century.
Thanks so much, Ray.
Most welcome, Bill.